Yo, what's up guys? It's me, German Fernandez, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to fold this origami airplane I designed. Alright, so before we start, do not forget to subscribe to my channel by clicking the button right here at the top of the screen. Good thing about subscribing is that I release tutorials almost on a daily basis, so make sure not to miss out and to subscribe now. Alright guys, so this is the model we're going to be folding today. As you see, it looks pretty freaking awesome, and not only that, it actually flies pretty decently if you know how to toss it correctly. So let's go ahead and start. Today we're going to be needing one sheet of paper, and I'm using a 11 by 8.5 inch. So go ahead and grab that. Alright, so once you got that, let's fold this bottom left corner towards the top left, making sure that our bottom edge right here aligns nicely with the top edge. And remember guys, like I mentioned on every video, make sure to take your time and align it as nicely as you can. If not, you will be able to tell on your final product that there's something wrong. Alright, so once you've done that and creased it, let's go ahead and open it back up. And now what we want to do is fold this bottom left corner towards the top right edge, making sure that this left edge right here aligns nicely with this top one. Once you got it nicely aligned, let's go ahead and crease it down. Okay, so once you creased it nicely, let's go ahead and open it back up. And now what we want to do is fold the upper left corner towards the edge of this crease right here on the bottom right side. So while we do that, we want to make sure that this edge right here aligns nicely with the bottom one. Once it's nicely aligned, let's go ahead and crease it down. Once it's nicely creased, let's go ahead and open it back up. Okay, so now what we want to do is go ahead and flip over the piece of paper, just like that. Now we want to fold this upper left corner towards the top right crease right there, making sure that this left edge right here aligns nicely where both of these creases end. So right down this way. And we're going to fold it right along where all the creases meet right there in the middle. So that's where your crease should end up at. So make sure to align them. And once all that is nicely aligned, let's go ahead and crease it down. Alright, so once it's nicely creased, let's go ahead and open this flap back up. And now we want to go ahead and flip over the piece of paper. Once you've done that, with our index finger, we're going to push right here. Push it, and then this section should pop up. Then we want to bring these two edges towards this middle section. So it's really easy. We're just going to go ahead and bring them together. And then you'll notice this top part is popping upwards. We want to go ahead and lay it flat against the table, just like that. Once you've done that, let's go ahead and rotate the paper towards the right. And for this next step, we want to grab this flap right here and fold the edge right here towards the middle crease. So go ahead and take your time and align those nicely. Once it's nicely aligned, go ahead and crease it down. Okay, so once it's creased down, let's repeat the same steps to the left side. So we want to grab this flap and fold this edge right here towards our middle crease. Once they're nicely aligned, go ahead and crease it down. And once it's creased, we want to go ahead and open the right side flap up. And we're going to go ahead and fold along this existing crease and bring it towards the left. Once you've done that, we want to open up this middle pocket and spread the two sides of paper apart. And then slowly just bring them down and fold them using their existing creases. Once you've done that, you see this crease right here? We want to go ahead and fold along that line and bring this flap towards the right. There we go. So once you've done that, you'll notice that you have this little tiny section right here, this little flap. So if yours looks like that, then you did an excellent job. So now let's repeat the same step, but to the left. Okay, so now we're going to open this flap towards the left, and using our existing crease, we want to bring this flap towards the right, just like that. And then we're going to go ahead with our index finger, we want to spread these two sides apart, just like that. And sometimes you might have to shove 2 fingers, to get it nice and flat, because sometimes you see, like, my top part doesn't want to fold down, so I have to sort of force it. So once you got that, go ahead and crease it down. Then using our existing crease right here, we want to go ahead and flip this flap towards the left. And I'm going to go ahead and crease these areas down a little bit. There we go. And then so yours should have these little 2 flaps in the bottom. So if yours looks like this, then you're doing an excellent job. So next step, we want to flip this flap towards the left and fold this corner right here towards our middle crease, making sure that this edge right here aligns nicely with the middle crease. So let's go ahead and fold that. Once it's nicely aligned, let's go ahead and crease it down. Once it's creased, let's repeat the same steps to the left side. So fold this corner towards our middle crease, making sure that this bottom edge right here aligns nicely with the middle crease. Once it's nicely aligned, let's go ahead and crease it down. Alright, so once it's nicely creased, we're going to move on to the next step. This next step might be a little complicated, so make sure to pay close attention. So what we want to do next is open this right side flap up, and the same thing with the left. Once you've done that, we're going to be creating a crease from the end of this crease to the other end. And so we want to go ahead and pull that upwards towards that area. And now we want to push these flaps inwards so that they're hidden. So we're going to use the existing crease to go ahead and fold towards the inside. So take your time and get those as nicely as you can. Alright, once you got that side done, this is what yours should look like. Let me show you. See? Just like that. So now let's go ahead and repeat the same step to the left side. So go ahead and take your time. Alright, so once you've done that and both sides are done, you want to go ahead and fold this towards the top. Just like that. And now what we want to do is we want to slowly crease down this bottom section. So you might have to push it down with your fingers slowly, and it should form a nice triangle where both edges meet up, just like that. So take your time. There we go. And this is what yours should look like. So if yours looks like this, then you're doing an excellent job. So now what we want to do is go ahead and, using our existing crease, we want to flip this towards the right. And then you'll notice, if you did it right, you'll have this little flap right here. So if yours looks like that, then you're doing a good job. So now let's repeat the same step to the left. So using our existing crease, we're going to flip this towards the right. Then we want to fold this corner towards our middle crease, making sure that this edge aligns nicely with our middle crease. Once it's nicely aligned, go ahead and crease it down. Okay, so once it's nicely creased, let's repeat the same steps to this side. So this left corner, we're going to fold it towards the middle crease, making sure that this edge aligns nicely with the middle crease. Once it's nicely aligned, go ahead and crease it down. Once they're both creased, let's go ahead and open the flaps back up. So let's do that to both sides. And now we want to grab this bottom section and flip it upwards. Making sure to flip it up to this point right here, where both creases end. Once you've done that, let's go ahead and push this flap inwards using our existing crease. So let's push this sucker inwards. Alright, so once you've done that side, and it looks like that, let's go ahead and do the same thing to the left side. So take your time, make sure you're folding along the existing crease. And once they're nice like that, let's go ahead and fold it towards the top so it meets up nicely with that top corner. And then we slowly want to start creasing down our bottom section so it forms a nice little triangle. Once you got them nicely aligned, go ahead and crease them down, just like that. And then what we want to do is flip this back downwards. And using our existing crease, we want to bring this right side flap towards the left. Alright, so if you did that right, you should have these 2 little flaps in the bottom that look just like this. Alright, so this next step might be a little complicated, so pay close attention. So what we want to do you see the crease I have right here down this middle section? This crease? We want to go ahead and follow that along the sides. So we're going to do that by folding that upper section of this model towards the back. So let me show you guys really quick. I'm going to go ahead and fold it, and then I'm going to unfold it to show you guys again, how to do it. So you see how I'm aligning the top corner towards that middle crease? That's exactly what you want to do with yours. So let me show you again. So you see this crease right here? that's where we want to go ahead and fold back. So obviously it wasn't there before, but I'm just showing you. So if yours looks like this, then that means you did a good job. Like I said, you want to make sure that this crease right here aligns with this top section. Okay, so what we want to do next is we want to fold this corner right here towards our middle crease. And we want to make sure that this edge right here aligns nicely with our middle crease. And as you could tell, when we fold it that way, it's actually going to fold throughout like the bottom of the design. So just make sure to try to align it as nicely as you can, even though you can't really see it. But you want to pull it and make sure that it's touching that middle crease, because it'll stop. It won't let you go any further. So once you've done that, go ahead and crease it down just like that. So let me show you really quick what yours should look like. See? Just like that. So once you've done that, let's go ahead and repeat the same steps we did to this right side, right here, but to the left. So we want to fold this corner towards our middle crease, making sure that this edge aligns nicely with our middle crease. So let's do it one more time. And then let's just go ahead and crease it down once it's nicely aligned. And so if yours looks like this, where these two edges meet up with this corner right there, then that means you did it right. Alright, so now for the next step. Okay, so what we're going to do is bring this flap towards the left a little bit. And then you see right in the middle of these two creases, right there, you want to go ahead and sort of fold this little flap and create a mountain fold. You see how I'm slowly closing it in and it's creating a flap? So let me show you again. From that point, you want to go ahead and create a mountain fold. So we want to gather these two sides of paper together and slowly bring in those two flaps. See, just like that. And then slowly just go pressing it down. And you want to make sure to do this at an angle. So you don't want this wing aligned with the back wing. So see how this is aligned that way and that one's like towards the other side? That's what yours should look like. Let's do the same thing to the left side. So what we want to do is open this flap up a little bit, and right there down the middle of both creases we want to create a little mountain fold on the left flap. So bring both sides of the paper just like that and slowly start closing it down. As you see, I'm doing it at an angle where it doesn't align with the back wing. Alright, so once it's nicely creased, you want to make sure to get them both as symmetrical as you can. So let's go ahead and fold this section in and see how they're aligned. You want to go ahead and if they're not, you want to go ahead and shift it a little bit and then crease it down again. So once you've done that, let's go ahead and open the design back up. And what we're going to want to do next is fold it straight down the middle and create a valley fold. So let's go ahead and do that. Once you've done that, this is what yours should look like. Just like this. And what we want to do next is, you'll notice this little back section, we want to go ahead and push it upwards, creating a mountain fold using the existing edges. So push it as further up as you can, just like that, and crease it down. So that's what yours should look like. So I'm going to open it back up so that way you guys can see what's up. So I'm just going to go ahead, push that section upwards, and then crease it down. So if yours looks like that, then you're doing a good job. Now for the next step, we want to go ahead and create a crease from this left corner right here. Let me show you guys. From this left corner to this edge right here. Right where you see where there's an edge right here and it meets the other edge, that's where we want to fold from. So from here to the other edge. So I'm going to go ahead and mark it with a pen. That way you guys can see exactly where I'm talking about. So you see where it's at? We want to fold a valley fold along that crease. So let's go ahead and do that. Once you've aligned it nicely, go ahead and crease it down really good. There's a lot of layers of paper, so you want to make sure to crease it nicely. Alright, so once you've done that and it's nicely creased, we want to fold the back side so it aligns against the edge we just created. So let's go ahead and do that. Slowly fold it back so that it goes and aligns, so this edge should align with that edge. So let's go ahead and do that. While you're folding, you want to make sure that the edges all meet up so that they all align. And so if they do, go ahead and crease it down. And once it's nicely creased, I'm going to go ahead and open it back up, and this is what yours should look like. So if yours looks like this, let's move on to the next step. So we want to fold it back downwards. So for this next step, you want to make sure that both these wings align nicely. And if they do, you want to make sure to hold them in place because sometimes they might move out of place. So now what we want to do is we want to grab both of these flaps, like I said, align them nicely, and see how there's two. Once they're nicely aligned, what we want to do is fold it upwards so that the crease we're creating aligns nicely with our upper crease. So once you've done that, see how this crease aligns with this bottom one? Once you've done that, let's crease it, fold one of the flaps down, and then fold it towards the back, just like this. Alright, so once you've done that, let's open our model back up and spread those wings apart a little bit, those two flaps, just like that. Now for this next step, what we want to do is open this middle section up so it's flat against the table, and using this existing crease, we're going to bring this corner towards the right. Alright, so once you got it tucked in right there towards the back, you want to go ahead and fold it down using our existing creases. Alright guys, so once it's nicely creased, go ahead and open it back up. And there you have it, guys. There's your origami airplane. So I hope you guys had fun. I hope yours turned out great. And do not forget, if you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, you could do so by clicking the button right here at the top of the screen. Good thing about subscribing, like I mentioned before, is that I release tutorials almost on a daily basis. So don't miss out and subscribe now. Oh yeah, and one more thing. If you guys enjoyed this video, please make sure to like it. It really helps out my channel, and I would really appreciate it. Well guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you on the next one.